The president says he's willing to make significant compromises on the border, calling it a broken system. ABC News White House correspondent Karen Travers joins me now for more on that. Karen, you talk to radio hosts across America every day. So what are you hearing about this standoff in Congress?
Diane, the big question for the last couple of days is, can they reach an agreement on the border security issue in order to get the Ukraine funding bill passed? Now, that's the big question on Capitol Hill as well, and our Senate reporter Ali Pecorin was putting that to lawmakers yesterday after that failed vote, and the answer she kept getting was, we don't know. They don't know where it goes from here, but negotiations continue. The other big question I keep getting, and I've been talking about this issue every day this week on ABC Radio, the question is the urgency. When Congress doesn't have a big spending bill deadline at the end of the year, because remember, they have funded the government through the middle of January and into February, if they're not facing a major deadline, is there pressure to get this done? The White House says there is. They're trying to ramp up pressure on lawmakers to get this across the finish line. But if Congress doesn't feel that, then maybe they don't act, and they can go home at the end of next week without getting this done. So the big question is, when Congress doesn't have something looming over their head, can they just recess and leave this until the new year?
So what's the White House saying about where Biden could make some compromises on border security?
They're saying that the president, in this proposal that he sent up to Congress weeks ago for funding for Ukraine and Israel and border security, has called for billions of dollars for things like more asylum officers, more immigration judges, more border security agents. And those are the things that the White House has wanted Congress to prioritize. But for many Republicans, that's not enough. It's not just about putting money toward the problem right now. They're calling for big policy changes, especially on things like asylum, trying to make it more difficult for people here to come and seek asylum, or make it more challenging for people to stay here while their cases are being heard. The White House, the president said yesterday himself that he's willing to compromise, but that Republicans need to meet him in the middle. It is not clear that they can do that on something so complicated in such a short amount of time. Diane?
Now, Biden warned Republicans against giving Vladimir Putin what he calls the greatest gift he could hope for, that Putin could hope for, if they abandon Ukraine. So how could this impact national security?
This was a very stark warning from the president yesterday. He said that U.S. security assistance for Ukraine is the only reason why Vladimir Putin has not already overtaken Ukraine and then gone somewhere else. And if that assistance stops, then Vladimir Putin could win there. And then what country is next? And that's where the president says it becomes a national security issue for the United States. Because if Putin turns to a NATO country next and then invades there, the United States would have to step in and defend a NATO ally. That's because of the Article 5 commitment that the United States has as a NATO member. And if that were to happen, the president says we would be seeing something that we are not seeing right now: American troops fighting Russian troops. Diane, we've heard him talk about this before, but it's been a very long time since he's laid it out in such stark terms like that. Clearly part of this effort to ramp up pressure to say, look what will happen if we do not get this assistance to Ukraine right away.
All right, ABC's Karen Travers at the White House. Thanks, Karen.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.